begin the demo, we'll start in the demo directory, and a list of files and directories are here. Let me go show you what they are. Copybooks directory simply has a list of the copybooks. The first line in a copybook, which is the only line that we add, is tables and table name. The table name matches the COBOL copybook name. Line up a directory, we'll go to the data directory next. And here we see data with the date. So these are the .text files. They're in EBCDIC format. They're FISERV data. And I go up again. We have a date.txt. This has the month, day, year format of the date of the data that we plan to load. The DOS path.txt file has two lines. One's the project directory, and the other one points to where the data is. Two of these files don't even have any data in them. They're touch files. EBCDIC tells the program that the data is in EBCDIC format. Truncate says to truncate the table before running the bulk insert. The last two files are all in short. They both have simply a list of names, of COBOL names. In this case here, short. And if I do this, we can tell that it has 20 COBOL copybook names. One configuration file that I'd like to add to this list is the database id.txt file. And here we're going to add our database. You have to identify what database you're going to load. In this case, I'll simply call the database demo. Now I'm going to bring up SQL Server. There is no demo database, so I'm going to create a new database. I'm going to call it demo. I'll do create, there's the demo, and here's the tables, and I'll do a refresh. And as you might expect, there are no tables. So it's time to run +1 copybook. First parameter I'm going to use is the capital C, which says to create the tables. The -D says do not generate delimiter files, which would be generating from EBCDIC to ASCII. And the -T short simply is going to process the 20 COBOL copybooks that are listed above. So here we go. Okay, so we're done, and so what I'm going to do is bring up the table. I'll do a refresh on the tables, and there's our 20 COBOL copybooks. I'd like to open up one of these tables to show you the column names, but these tables are under a non-disclosure, so I'm not really allowed to do that for you. But what I can do is I can open up a script that I like to use, and in this case it just simply shows the so this shows the counts. Alright, so let's bring this up. So as you might expect, there is no data because we haven't, no counts because we haven't loaded the data in yet. To load the data in, you can run a script or you can do it by a cron job. Cron job would automate it so that you can do a daily load. And that's what I like to set up right now. To do the daily load, we simply copy this line, and we want to copy the second line here, which is specifies the log file. Okay, I'm going to look at this here. It says this is going to run at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to wait that long, so right now it's basically 10:30. So we'll make this one 22, and the actual time is, let's see, 26. So I'll set it for 28. And let's check this. So it's set for, let's see, 10:28, and it's now 10:27. If I do a date, I see that it's 10:27 and 11. Okay, so we have 45 seconds before it starts. So before it starts, I'd like to go to the data directories to help explain what's going to be happening next. And here we see these are the data for the COBOL copybooks. They're in EBCDIC format, and they're .text files. So 36 seconds. So we have about 25 seconds left before the the cron job is going to kick off, which is a bulk insert short .ch script. Let's see here, another date. Okay, 5 seconds. Let's see, date 59 date. Okay, so now it's 10:28. Cron job kicked off. Let's see if it's working. And as you can tell, it is working. See, the first line is not a .text file anymore, it's a .deli file. And so what's actually going on here, I'll do it again, is we are reading the EBCDIC data. So for this file, this one's 007A. And so we're converting the EBCDIC into ASCII. But at the same time we're doing that, we're also handling the comp3s, we're handling the implied decimal points, we're handling the signed digits. And when we did the create table scripts, you know, we also minimize the amount of space used. Like you could have a number field, like an integer, but in SQL Server you could have like a tiny int, small int, integer, or big int. And so based on the COBOL copybook, we use the minimal amount of space. We define it properly. And then we also handle money data types, we handle date data types in FISERV. I think there's other data types we handle too, but let's see how this is going. So we've gone from 8 megabytes to 40 megabytes. Let's see how big this file is, 007A. Okay, this particular file is 52 megabytes as EBCDIC, and we've converted about 45 megabytes, so it's almost done. It's moving along. Let's see. I'll go back to this approach. So we're still processing the first file, and it's now 55, 56 megabytes big. So we're getting close. It should be getting done. Alright, 59 megabytes. So the ASCII file is bigger than the EBCDIC. The deli file is going to basically be has the values in ASCII with a delimiter between each field, which the bulk insert uses to read it in. Okay, now you can tell that the first one is done, and we've actually processed, or processing, looks like 4 other files. So I'm going to go back over here to SQL Server, and where the counter is 0, I'm going to go ahead and execute the script again. And as you can tell, we've already loaded data in the 07. It has 25,000 rows. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we loaded 5 tables already. And then if we do it again, see if we're progressing. Oh, we got this one here. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 101 rows loaded there. So we have 6 out of the 20 already loaded. If I come back over here, we're on 106. We're creating that one right now. Still working on 106. Now we're on 120. So let's see, 106. Oops, not that one. Just want to say execute. So let's see, 106 is done. 120 is done. 121 is done. Alright, how many more do we have here? We have about, looks like about 8 or 9 of them. So when we do this conversion, like I said before, you know, we're reading in the EBCDIC, we're converting it to ASCII, we handle the comp3s, we handle the implied decimal point, we handle the signs for you, and then we run the bulk insert to load the actual data, and bulk insert is absolutely the fastest way to load data in SQL Server. So let me go ahead and do another execute here. How are we doing? Oh, we're on the last 2 tables. I'll just keep refreshing here. Okay, we're on the last one, 181. Nope, not done yet. Oh, now we're done. Okay, so we just loaded the data. That's how fast this program can load your data. Converted the COBOL copybooks into create table scripts. We created the tables, then we actually loaded it, not only did we load it, but we actually have it scheduled for tomorrow's run. There is one line that we had to add for that to occur. It's the line that was previously added, and it's this line right here. Just sets the date.txt file. It should be the demo directory, but the date.txt file gets updated that way. So the last thing I'd like to show you is the web page. So let me do this. I'll do Control Open. I'm in the demo directory. Here's the index. And so this is part of it too. Not only did we convert the data, but we generate HTML documentation for you. We go to demo. Let me see. Do a refresh here. And here we can see the actual, well, I can't show you this, but you can click on the tables, various tables. So, I'll go ahead and say that concludes the demonstration. One of our clients this year basically used our tool. They were scheduled to use offshore help for their project to basically do what we just did. But instead of showing it to you in minutes, they had it scheduled for 3 months, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week of offshore help. By using +1Copybook, they were able to compress their schedule significantly, save a lot of money, and went in production 3 months earlier. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the demo.